If you are lost and you're not really sure what you should do with your life, this is what I would recommend based on my own personal experience. To give you an example, for you to be physically fit, at one point you have to have not been fit. And you have to go through a period of doing over a certain amount of time for you to become fit. If you want to achieve a level of financial success, at one point you have to have not been financially successful and you go through a period of doing to become financially successful. If you want to know what you want to do with your life, you have to at one point not really know what you want to do with your life. And you have to go through a period of doing to be able to know. Now, some people make this mistake, and I've made it in the past myself, of just doing things for a prolonged period of time, but they're still lost in the sauce, right? No different than physical fitness. Everybody wants to be fit, but why is it that not everybody is fit? They've gone to the gym for years, but still nothing. And what I realize is you have to be very intentional. And how do I mean by that? When it comes to, for example, like dating, how do you really get to know the other person? And you go on dates, spend time with them, and you would ask them questions, right? Like, what do you like to do? What's your favorite color? Etc. Now, those are just the doing, right? You just ask them general questions. What I mean by being very intentional is understanding, right? So for example, what is your favorite color? Favorite color is blue. Okay. When did that color become your favorite color? It's one layer deep. It's like, oh, I don't know. I never really thought about it, but maybe when I was a kid. Okay, around what age? Maybe when I was 10. Okay, what happened when you were 10 that blue became your favorite color? Because you could have chosen anything, but why blue? Well, because when I was young, I used to go to the parks a lot with my parents, and I remember the sky being beautiful all the time during the summers. And looking at the sky, and it was so blue, I really just enjoyed that. Okay, but when you were in the park looking at the sky, how did that make you feel? Where you associated blue as your favorite color? Well, blue really made me feel at peace, at calm. And as a result, sometimes I like to wear like a ring with a blue on it. It's like, oh, okay. Now I understand. Because I took the time to be very intentional to truly understand why your favorite color is blue. No different than that. When's the last time you have invested time with yourself to just truly sit down, ask yourself questions, uncover some of the layers to truly understand what you like, what you don't like? What I have personally realized for me when I went through a period of just being lost, and the way I kind of look at it is no different than, let's say, this bottle. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. And, you know, at the end of the 24 hours, this bottle is filled, right? Each hour, right, we consume something, this bottle gets filled. So, for example, I'll wake up, maybe I'll check my phone, social media here and there, and throughout the day, maybe I'll spend 1 or 2 hours on social media, right? And because of all the stuff in social media, my attention is spent on there. And then I spend, let's say, 8 hours at work. Another 8 hours goes by, and I spend 1 hour commuting back and forth, listening to songs, radios. Another hour there. And then I come home. All I want to do is just relax a little bit, watch some Netflix, get entertained. And I spend a couple of hours here, go to the gym, and I listen to whatever songs, music that I do at the gym, and I come home, shower, go to sleep, wake up the next day, do it all over again. In a typical day, How much time did I spend with myself? Asking myself these questions, getting to know myself. And imagine doing that day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Can you see how you could understandably be lost? Because you have not invested, allocated the time to know yourself, to find yourself, to ask yourself deeper questions, to really get to know yourself. And what I have personally done for a couple of years was to just go on some trips by myself. Sometimes I would rent a hotel in Washington, D.C. next to the National Mall and just spend the weekend there. And in the little National Mall strip or in the park, I would just fall asleep under the tree sometimes. I was that one weirdo that was kind of alone. And sometimes I would just go to the movie theaters by myself, just watch a movie. I would go fishing by myself. I'd go hiking by myself. I would wake up and journal, ask myself some questions. It's like, what do I like? What don't I like? Why do I feel this way? Why did I feel angry in this moment? And how can I grow from this situation? But what about this thing really made me angry though? And after doing these type of exercises for years, I was able to find direction. I was able to find myself, and I was able to understand myself. And that's something that I would recommend that you guys do. Because for those of you who are just feeling lost, not really knowing, what I have to say to you is, it's okay. Doesn't matter if you're 18 or 30 or more, it's okay to be lost. Because everybody's lost at some point. What's not okay is to be unintentional. You know, if you're watching this now, you have the responsibility to be intentional. You have my example. You have the questions that I would ask, that I've asked myself. Be very intentional. And when you invest time with yourself, to just doing things by yourself, you're going to just feel different type of things. You're going to understand what you like, what you don't like, as long as you understand that you need to be very intentional. And so that's what I would recommend and what's helped me in the past. And I know if you do this, and sometimes people do therapy because therapists are responsible for asking you these type of questions. But even then, they can't really communicate with you as well as you can communicate with yourself. And so I would recommend this. Hope that helped. Peace.